You're listening to the Franchise Freedom Podcast with Giuseppe Grammatico.
Welcome to the Franchise Freedom Podcast. I'm your host, Giuseppe Grammatico, your franchise guide, the show where we help corporate executives experience time and financial freedom via franchising. Thanks for joining us today. We are talking about the importance of the due diligence process when analyzing and looking at franchise companies, and we are on part 3. So just to recap, part 1 was in the due diligence phase was learning as much as you can about the franchisor, looking at the unit economics, reviewing the FDD and franchise agreement, speaking, and listening to leadership calls and speaking with upper management, the founders of the company. Information gathering as much as possible, so you have a great understanding of the business, the opportunity, and the role that you'll play, the day-to-day of a franchise owner, a day in a life, followed by validation and speaking with franchisees and asking them questions and asking about their business, their experiences, the good, the bad, the in between, and diving in a little bit deeper and gathering more information as to why they had that experience. Was it personal? Was it the franchisor? Has that all been rectified? Is the franchisor really kind of improving in that area? And today's stage, part 3, is going to be talking about Discovery Day, Meet the Team Day, Confirmation Day, all meaning the exact same thing, where it is a virtual and or in-person, typically day and a half event, where you get to meet with upper management founders and really solidify your decision in moving forward with that franchise. Now, in this case, I always tell people when going to a Discovery Day, number one, you want to be about 80 to 90% certain you want to move forward. Doesn't have to be 100. You don't have to sign that franchise agreement after going to Discovery Day, but you also just don't want to go on every single Discovery Day. You want to be relatively certain, be comfortable with the brand. And the purpose really here is you gathered all the info, you spoke with the franchisees for, via your validation calls. So really you are, just getting extremely comfortable, as I did, met the franchisor of my last business that, in person, met him at the office, and you're doing the same. You've had a lot of your questions. You may, ask questions just such as the future of the business, what the plans are the next 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 years looks like, expansion, what they're looking to do. Are they adding revenue streams? What other, are they adding to training and that kind of thing? So you get to meet with the upper management. You learn some new things, but really it's a comfort level. You get to meet other people looking at the franchise as well. So there's a lot, this is a very important stage. People ask me, well, how do I know if will I get approved? And really what it comes down to is a good franchise company. If they've, if you've had multiple calls with them, you've had validation, you've made it to this stage, then there's a good chance that you will be accepted, not guaranteed, but a good chance, because if it truly wasn't a good fit after the first or second call, that franchisor either may contact us or contact you directly and just say, hey, this isn't a good fit, and these are the reasons why. And it just may be that they're looking for someone with a certain skill set, or you're close to the financial requirements, and they prefer you, work on that to the point where let's just postpone this and put together a plan to talk again in 90 days. So there's a good chance what will happen after the Discovery Day is that the team will meet together formally, if everything goes well, approve you, and they'll send you a letter and give you a certain length of time where they will guarantee your location or your territory. So and then you would make a decision within that window. Just say it's 2 weeks, and just say, hey, definitely ready to move forward, signing the agreement, and you have those 14 days to sign and fund the franchise fee, and that's really the first cost that you will incur. Now, we didn't spend a lot of time on this because I did a separate show on this, but in this process, we're also introducing you to funding partners. Well, you'll get to work with a company that do a full analysis of your financial situation and kind of give you multiple options as to what may work to fund this investment. The question we also get, at what point is a franchise attorney needed? And I tell everyone that franchise attorney is not mandatory. It is recommended, but having someone review the franchise agreement. Now, why we say franchise attorneys is that you want someone that understands franchising, has reviewed franchise disclosure documents before, and understands what can or cannot be negotiated. A franchise agreement really is written in a way to protect the franchise company. That includes the franchisor as well as the franchisee. So they want everyone following the same system, offering similar services, similar colors, similar logos and fonts and things like that. So it's really to protect the brand overall. So a franchise attorney can review the FDD for you. Again, not mandatory. A bare minimum, I recommend that everyone at least read the franchise agreement cover to cover, speak and get with the existing franchisees to get their feedback. Did they hire a franchise attorney? So we did a show on that with Houston Barnes, and that, I didn't want to spend too much time here, but that's a separate show that we did with Houston, which offered a great opportunity to start exploring the FDD. So hopefully you found the 3-part series helpful. This is done in order. It's a process. A franchise is a process. So people that want to jump on the first call with a franchise company and speak with franchisees, that's just not going to look great from the franchisor's perspective, because we've talked about kind of the process, because it is important to speak with franchisees, but let's learn about the brand so the questions to ask to be respectful of the person's time, just like when you will be taking these calls once you become a franchisee. So there's a process: information gathering, franchisor, stage 1 or part 1. Part 2, stage 2 is validation, speaking with the franchisees from the information you gather in part 1. And then part 3 is discovery, meet the team, and confirmation days. Just really solidifying that decision and making that final decision, saying, okay, great, I've got the information, I've been approved, I have a couple weeks. I'm going to tell the franchisor yes, if moving forward. If not, this is the time to, pump the brakes and maybe put this on hold. Letting the franchisor know how you plan on funding this, how many territories and kind of your time frame, what that looks like, and then putting together a plan of kind of next available training date so that you can get trained. If you have a general manager, you may want to bring that general manager or key employee to that training and put together kind of a, map out the next 90 days where you're getting trained, you're getting equipment if needed, or vehicles or what have you, supplies, and then having kind of a launch date. So again, hope you found this out. We didn't go through every single question. This is just to give you an idea, kind of a thought process of what this kind of looks like in the order. Time frames of what this all could look like can be anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks is a typical range. Do people do it sooner? Yes, not often, but 4 weeks is a pretty quick process of going through, and I've seen people take 3 months. So it's really about comfort level, but keeping in mind that with every franchise, the longer you wait, or if you decide I'm going to go not to the next confirmation in September, but I'm going to wait till October, there are other people looking at these brands. And if someone is committing to a previous discovery day and going through the process, they would get first dibs at whatever territory or location was there. So I've seen that happen before, where kind of slow, making kind of going through the process, and a territory is awarded to someone else. It could happen. So I like to kind of educate and set the expectation that if you're really serious, dedicating the time to going there and being very clear on kind of what your time frame looks like. And that's it. So again, guys, hope you found this helpful. I appreciate this, because I start to go through and start to send these emails out to people that are along in the process, and always looking for feedback and anything else you want added to the video. So thanks again. I will be posting these. We'll do these over 3 weeks, as this was a lot of information to process. And feel free, ggthefranchiseguide.com, book a call, send me a message. You can comment on these videos wherever you're watching these videos, on social media, YouTube. Send me some questions. Would love to answer them as a future topic on a future episode. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Whenever you're ready, here are 3 ways Giuseppe can help. 1. If you've ever considered owning a business of any kind, you owe it to yourself to get a copy of Giuseppe's book, Franchise Freedom. Download your free copy at ggthefranchiseguide.com/book. 2. Want to understand how successful executives make the transition from corporate to owning their own franchise? Join Giuseppe's next online presentation, Franchise Freedom: How to Escape the Corporate World and Have Financial and Time Freedom by Owning a Franchise, by going to ggthefranchiseguide.com/video. 3. Want to work with Giuseppe one-on-one to identify the right franchise opportunity for you, to navigate the process, and get plugged into experienced franchising advisors? Send him an email to gg@ggthefranchiseguide.com with one-on-one in the subject, and he'll send you all the details.